Hello again, and thanks for watching. I am Steve, and today's Mental Health Journal dives deep into rewiring the brain in 21 days. Let us get started with tennis balls. Yes, I said tennis balls. I love that they come in threes. Grab a permanent marker too. Hit that subscribe button, the follow button, save the video for later, share it with your family and friends. I will take a beat while you grab your supplies and we get ready for this mental health exercise. Rewiring the brain is not a new concept, and these tennis balls are an excellent tool for relieving stress, anxiety, depression, and increasing a more balanced mood. So, let us pop the top off the can. The new tennis ball air. Did you know that the air we breathe is 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 0.9% argon, 0.04% carbon dioxide, and a ridiculously small amount of other gases? All right, so take the tennis balls out of the container, grab your permanent marker, and we are going to label the tennis balls. One for B for body. We're going to label the other two F for your foot or your feet. All right. So I like to keep my socks on, but you can go ahead and whatever works best for you. Remove your shoes, put the tennis balls under your feet, and roll them under your foot. Oh, that plantar fascia loves me right now. I'm going to tell you, really dig in when you get warmed up. Roll the tennis ball all over your foot, underneath your toes, and stretching those metatarsals. You've been on your feet all day. You need to relax. And while you're doing this, start with the head, and you're going to tense up as you breathe in. And you're going to relax. Yes.
Make sure the tennis ball
Okay.
over the fence.
We'll go get it later. Little guys are here in the shop working with me on these exercises as well. So breathe in, relax. We're going to start with the head, and we're going to work all the way down the body. Breathe in, tense up, roll out. Thanks. Okay. The tennis balls under your feet. Put your hands down by your side. Relax. Mental health during a global pandemic has seen the rise in cases of anxiety, depression, mood swings, trauma, adjustment disorders, and other mental health disorders. The active stressors on the body dealing with economic, social, physical changes for the self, your loved ones, is unprecedented. Even the most skilled and highly functioning top-tier performers have experienced this collective impact from COVID. The trauma is real, and the effects are being felt in our body, our mind, our spirit, and our emotional control. This is affecting our brain's chemistry in a way that I just had to share. Depression is a chemical depletion of serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine, which is similar to epinephrine in that both are hormones and neurotransmitters released during the body's stress state of fight, flight, freeze. But norepinephrine has more effect on your blood vessels, whereas epinephrine has slightly more of an effect on your heart. This is important to know what chemistry is occurring within your body and when, so you can begin making better decisions on what you read, watch, eat, think, and behave. The elements or situations you find yourself, you create this chemistry of either balanced or unbalanced states. Identifying these triggers and keeping a journal will only help synthesize the data for you later. While you're massaging your feet, begin to think about the areas of your body that hurt. Feel out of sync. Feel pain in. Where does it start from? Where does it end? Track that with the other ball, right, with the B. So you're going to say if your knee hurts, you're going to rub it out. Where does it start? Where does it end? Just roll it on the muscles. Begin to say relax, heal, release. If you need to get up and use the floor, go ahead. These tennis balls are great for the back, the arms, your neck. Where do you carry your stress and anxiety? Where do you wear your depression? for your thoughts. It's easy to find bodily pain because typically a contusion is caused from an external object striking our body, or from overuse such as a runner's knee, tennis elbow, typing. Maybe you have lower back pain from sitting too long. However, focusing your thoughts on what hurts emotionally is very tricky, and often the reason we are depressed, stressed, anxious, or unhappy. To rewire the brain, we need a little know more about what's going on up here chemically. Remember when I said that the air we breathe is not just oxygen, but a mixture of gases, pollens, particles, and dust? Well, oxygen is the third most abundant element in the universe. Oxygen is the most abundant element in the body. The types of bonds oxygen make with other elements like hydrogen in the water that we drink, or nitrogen in the carbon and proteins we eat, is directly correlated to feeling happy. Go to an oxygen bar, sit down, and tell me how good you feel after breathing pure oxygen in for 10 seconds. That is why deep breathing works. Oxygen is the octet rule inert gas that easily bonds with other elements to power the number of joules required to break those microscopic compounds into other chemicals for mood stabilization and focus. Oxygen is critical to our mental health. Happiness is driven on these balanced chemical bonds. These elements out of balance or in states of stress, depression, anxiety, extreme pressure, temperature changes, are destroying those happy chemicals, serotonin, the dopamines, and they're engaging the adrenaline when it should not. Depression cuts off those balanced chemistries in our body and begins to activate body's immune system defense. This is like having inflammation all over the body because our thoughts are triggering the brain in such a way that the brain does not know exactly where the depression is, so it attacks everything inside of itself. And all these adrenaline chemicals, epinephrine, the norepinephrine, are increasing the blood pressure. They're increasing our heart rate. Our GI tract is releasing hormones and chemicals to activate the muscles to run, to fight, freeze, or fear. And right there, if you have been sitting idle for 2 weeks or for the 7 months during this shutdown, your brain has already been rewired. If you don't have a tennis ball set, I highly encourage you to go buy a can. Do your muscles ache without any reason? Feeling of worthlessness, excessive guilt become a reoccurring nightmare? Irritable aggravation increase over petty situations? Feeling tired, fatigued while you've been resting, sleeping all day? Your stomach hurts and nothing sounds good to eat. You can't sleep. Troubled sleep. All these are the body's answers to infection, injury, trauma. The problem is if you did not get hit by a dump truck, there is no reason to feel like you got hit by a dump truck. This problem has a solution, but you first must know what you're up against before you blindly strike back. Mental health is a huge concern for many people. Good mental health is hard to do on your own. And without access to health care or professional counselors, big pharmaceutical, what can you do? Tennis balls will help. This is another stress relieving tactic to work on your body, to work in your mind, and to bring a balance back to your chemistry set organically. Shawn Achor teaches the happiness advantage. You have the power to rewire your brain in 21 days. By performing these 5 daily habits, you can shift your negative thinking and begin to find more positive aspects of your life that you would then begin to notice as opposed to looking at the negative. You sure can. All right, sit down and rub your feet. So what are those 5 daily habits? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. 3 gratitudes, journaling, exercise, meditation, random acts of kindness. You got that Sharpie? Write it down. 3 gratitudes. What are you grateful for? Write 3 gratitudes down and go express them to those people. Journaling. For me, this is a part of journaling. Exercise. We went on a walk today and we're here to relax a little bit. Meditation. The tennis balls are an active part of my meditation process to help relieve some of the stress and anxieties, some of the tension that I'm feeling. random acts of kindness. I'll just leave that as is. So to me, the tennis balls are very critical to my daily routine, so I know it works, and I'm sure it can work for you. Say you do nothing, because that is also a choice. What is the long-term effect on your mental health, physical ability, cognitive functioning, and emotional control if you do nothing? The result is falling dependent to the healthcare and pharmaceutical system later in life. If you're a high-functioning person that is now stressed and depressed and out of work because COVID shut down, you have already rewired your brain. Unless you're doing daily mental health workouts to prevent low mood from taking over, you will become depressed and not even know it. It is one thing to have a bad couple of days, but we have been out of work for 7 months. Come on. Some businesses that employed hundreds of people with families are starving. And they're behaving like depressive maniacs because they lost everything. Everyone, for a period of time during this pandemic shutdown with the protests, looting, gun violence, political charged media, experienced trauma. This experience is too much stress for the human brain to compartmentalize, and this trauma will lead to PTSD. Your brain has already been rewired, if you believe it or not. It may not be evident right now, but in 3 months, say 9 months, we shall see. I'm sure within this 7-month period, some of you put a loaded gun to your head. I am sure some of you went and got drunk and drove around. I'm sure some of you went out and made some very risky choices that you normally wouldn't do, but you said, oh, it's because of COVID. I would rather do this, or I'm going to do this. And that is a symptom. Those are all symptoms. Rewired your brain and you did not even know it. Making these life choices while in a depressive state can lead to major depressive episodes later in life without a plan to control your mental health. So what's cheaper? Healthcare for depression, anxiety, psychiatry visits, for prescription pills, the potential side effects of those prescription pills, the counseling visits, the high blood pressure, the tachycardia, the ulcers in the stomach, the ulcers in your mouth, the ulcers on your skin, sleepless nights, oversleeping because now you're late to work, or you go out and you get 3 tennis balls and use them in a way not to just massage your feet, but you use them to massage your body, your thoughts, your belief system, and you start altering that internal chemistry without drugs. Thanks again for watching. I'm Steve Wire with another mental health workout here on Wire Productions Workout Wednesday. And I've got Jake and Jackson here as well. Thanks for tuning in.